morning. I'm Peggy Mulligan, for those of you who I do not know. Bill and I have been members of this church for almost 40 years now. I grew up in the Catholic Church, and Bill grew up in the Presbyterian Church, and when we first got married and wanted to start a family, we put a real priority on wanting to find a church that we both felt very comfortable worshiping in. So we tried out a lot of different churches, but we truly found our home here. We raised our 3 children in this church. They were in the inaugural class of the Tree of Life preschool. They went to Vacation Bible School, to church camp. They were confirmed in the church, and they went on many of the ASP trips, which were really wonderful. And it was really a joy watching them and so many other youth in this church grow up with such wonderful examples of faith and mentors for themselves. And in keeping with Gary's message for the gratitude of God's provisions, we give thanks for the many deep and wonderful friendships that Bill and I have found here in this church. We love the ministries of this church, and we're very grateful for the firm foundation that it has given our family.
And I'm Bill Mulligan, better known as Peggy's husband, or Nancy Anderson's brother, actually. When Nancy asked me to speak, I struggled a bit to know what to say. Her advice was to make it personal. Nancy and I were blessed to grow up in a Christian church family that embraced an active church life. We're all a function of our example set by our parents, right? I recall a memory when I was 10 to 11 years old, family vacation out to Lake Powell, Arizona. And I had had a bike crash about a week before. I wasn't a careful child. And so I had 5 or 6 stitches in my knee, and my dad needed to find a clinic to take out the stitches. Happened to be right in the middle of the vacation. So we go into Page, Arizona, which at that time is like a one-horse town, find a doctor, walk into the waiting room, and there's a Native American sitting in the waiting room. And so we get right in, go to the treatment room, takes out my stitches, no problem, come back out, Native American is still sitting there. So I headed out to the car, my dad goes back in, and I said, what'd you go back in there for, Dad? He said, well, I paid, the guy wouldn't be treated because the doctor wanted to be paid in advance. So my dad paid the bill. And that memory reinforced to me the importance of being charitable and helping others that are less fortunate. As Peggy said, in our family's been benefited from the church for many years, and our return on investment in the church has been immeasurable. We realize that there are many demands for your charitable dollar, but for Peggy and I, our church is at the top of the list. We have confidence in our leadership and look forward to growing our membership program and mission giving. Thank you for the opportunity to speak here today.